Can you hear me? It works? No, not the microphone, the earphone. I mean, you have the translation, that's what I mean. Not yet. Okay, thank you very much. Let me introduce myself. My name is Michele Capuani. I am the director of Poliarte Academy University in Italy. We are here today for the opening of the Marche region week of events, and Poliarte is based in this region, and it has been operating as a university since 1972. We are part of the Italian Ministry on University and Research, and we offer courses, programs in product design, fashion, visual communication, and have you seen the presentation this morning, cinema and scenography. We are here today because we have recently presented a big project that we named Metaverso Raffaello, combining the meaning of the two words on the metaverse and Raffaello Sanzio, that is, let's say, probably the best painter of the Marche Renaissance, meaning that we intend to give a more add value and to promote the Marche culture in art and design, whatever in the world. This is the purpose of this project. We as Poliarte, we are not alone. This is done with a network of academy and university in Marche region, meaningful the University of Urbino, the Accademia of Urbino, and two music academies in Pesaro and in Fermo. This network is developing a project. This morning we have seen a movie that is also part of this project, but there are several other activities, and we are here today to present another very significant point of our work, that is a museum. You might wonder what is the need of a museum in such a small region. Actually, we had a lot of discussion on this topic, and we do believe that what is needed is a point of view very accurate, very close to a variety of products and other significant facts, because a community, even if it is a small community, really needs to base its heritage on an established tradition and culture. Following this idea, we designed this MAD, that means Marche Design Museum, that is basically a virtual museum. So we are not looking for heavy organization to manage. We are not looking for buildings to manage. We are not looking for heavy infrastructure. So it is a engine of research. It is a website and social pages, and we are working on this. The idea, the reason why we are doing this meeting today is that we are so interested in meeting different approaches wherever in the world, and to understand how the cultural heritage in design is managed in other countries and in different situations. This is why today we have invited a panel of speakers. We are very happy to host Carlo Vannicola. Carlo is professor at Camerino University, but today is here also as a president of the scientific committee that is putting together the collection. Then we have Daichi Iwase, that is professor at the Tokyo Zokei. We are very happy to welcome you. Then we have Tatsu Matsuda, that is associate professor at the Shizuoka University of Art and Design. And then last but not least, Professor Onoji Hiroto, that is professor at Kyoto University of Arts. Each one... Each of the, we are very happy because we communicated our idea, our project only a few weeks ago, and it's very surprising also in a way that we found so many qualified speakers interested in the same subject. We met with I think I should mention that we had the contact with this university through the Cumulus Association, that is the largest network of design university in the world. We are all part of this family, and this is an occasion also to say that this big international network sometimes are useful, and this is one of the occasions where we can prove, have the evidence that these big networks are useful and important. So we don't have much time, so I got a slot for each of you. I think we can have this for a presentation, and then we would like to have a mutual exchange of experience and maybe some discussion with the public. So following the order, I will be a little rigid about timing, if you don't mind, because we don't have the room for a long time. And I will also ask you to go at the desk and speak from the desk. Carlos, if you want to start, you are the first one. So please welcome Carlo Vannicola.
Okay, to go is the green, okay? Yeah, that's okay. Now to move the slide. Yeah. Okay. It's this. Yes, okay. Okay, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Carlo Vannicola. I am industrial design teacher in Camerino University, and I am also the vice director of the School of Architecture and Design. So in this presentation, I will use the plural form because I am part of a very interesting, small, but multidisciplinary group that is working about this project, okay? A group that arrived from different university and design school in the region Marche. And some sentence before to start to show the image. Okay, when we started to do this project, maybe 2 years ago or more, the first question that we find that is, okay, it is a very, very simple and easy to find and to recognize the quality in the products, okay? Because we have a lot of different products, so different typology of products in Marche region, and many of these is easy to understand that arrive in the market and become a successful products. But how to recognize the quality of the company and how the company can select a good project, okay? And how the company, in this case, develop a very new technology to organize and to develop these products. This is the main question. So we spent many time try to understand that probably we have to start from to study the territory's characteristics and also the cultural heritage of the different part of the region, and also the technological development of the company. So how is possible to answer this question, and which is the main important point that we can use to do this? And so we say that our museum, our Whittle Museum, can explain this, probably connecting and use more different situations that normally people can find in the market land. Some information about the market to understand that the quality arrive also from the quality of the life, but also from the quality of the people that is living in this area. So, for example, Marche region is less than 10,000 square meters, and is less 1.5 million people. But if we consider the density, 158 people for square kilometers, we understand that the density is very, very low compared very other part of Italy. And some other thing, for example, the arithmetic difference, we have from the top of the hill, as 2,500 meters from sea level, from the sea is only 50 kilometers. So the difference is very, very, very few. And we have a lot of small towns, and the largest town, largest city is Ancona, is near 100,000 people, citizens. So this is the situation that we know, that we have to understand. Today, some people speak about the quantity of a village in the market. We have 225 small village. Okay, it's a very big number. And so the first thing that we have to consider that how the quality of the life is important for to find and to control the quality of the project inside the region. So we have some example of this kind of village in the center of the region or near the sea. And the problem is the people that lives in this situation can understand the quality of the space, can understand the quality of the details that many wonderful architects, many here, use it to develop this kind of buildings. So in this case, the people live inside a wonderful systems, and as I normally say, to do a good project is necessary to learn how to read project around you. So to live in a better place, in a beautiful place, is an easy way to take information, take experience from the space where you are living. The second point is, if we consider the history of the region, Marche region, we know that in 3,000 years, many peoples arrived in this area and lived in some part of this area. So we have from Piceni, that is probably the first population that we can recognize in our history, to the Austria, France, Germany. We have a lot of situations that, in any case, put in evidence a different lifestyle, and also a different style in the products, in the ritual action every day. So, and the very important thing that also now is possible to recognize this enormous, big quantity of different activity. Another point is the orographic. We know the special orographic system of Marche. We have a lot of river that come from the mountain to the sea, and we have a valley, we have the ridge between one valley to the other valley. So we have a typical comb structure situation. That one very important thing, that every valley don't try to use the hill like a street, but use the sea to move gods from one part to another. So in this case, in this age, all the valley try to do the same things in a different way. So we can have in the different valley of the market the same things but made in a different way. If we share this different way, we can find, in any case, for every typology of products, something that become important also for the other people. So it's like a shared research about agriculture, about traditional craft, about rituals in our life. So this system is the starting way to have a more example to do something in the same area. So another point, very, very important, that the village is in the reach, okay? One from the other village, there is normally from 3 to 10 kilometers. And this was very important because a small village organize the workplace very near. So in some case, inside the village, in some other case, near, around the village. Okay? And this was very important because the quality of the life for the worker was very, very, very high. But now we can consider a different way, for example. We have, okay, the city along the sea became a linear city in which the waterfront became very, very important. But in the internal village, the situation is like probably 500 years ago. So small village near another small village. So the idea today is if we can organize this kind of situation like a new city, new contemporary city, we can have the same image that many urban planning designers try to do. A district full, in which is necessary more green situation, more slowly life. So what we have is probably a model city organized with many different kind of village that is very near together. We know that the 5-kilometer distance we can use a car, is only 5 minutes, or an electric bicycle is from 10 to 30 minutes to arrive in the other city. So we have a modern situation that is historical for our region. So another point of view that is possible to have a lot of contact with the past history, with the developing of artisan products. So we have in the market a lot of archaeological, ethnographic museum that for people that needs to read project is easy way to use. But in the same time, we have a lot of traditional small museum that catalogate different kind of materials, so ceramics, coppers, and many other products like this, or embroidery museum, or hat museum, or pipe museum, and we have also accordion museum, or this is a very strange, that is a very important point, bicycle street trade museum in Fabriano, that made in evidence that we can have a trade situation by bicycle, okay? It's possible only because the distance between one village to another village is very, very low. And also many other museums, like Shoes Museum and many others of these. So we know that the quality is recognized from the people because they have a lot of opportunity to see and to understand which is considered quality from the people. Another very important point was that in the end of the 19th century, there are a lot of crises, economic crises. So the farmer don't made only one job. They made agriculture during the spring, the summer, but in the winter it's not possible to do anything in many cases. So they start to do others job, like to make cotton or wool fabrics and many other jobs. So this was very, very important because after the Second World War, when the farmer become worker in the industrial, they have the ability to do something. They have the mentality and the ability to do something. So the company, the fabric, if we consider 100 years ago, find a very good worker because they have already studied, they are already experienced about to do and control something. And this unit with the way that the workers live very near the factory, because the small town have a factory very near, the community was, I can work with my parents, with my people of my family, or with my friends. So the quality of the worker, the group worker, was very, very high. So this idea combined with the quality of the owner that live in a very special land become, I think, one of the most important points to develop a good project. After the ability to change mentality from the people from region market, put other thing that was important. Another point was the family business, that we have a lot of family business in Italy. This is Della Valle or Guzzini or Santoni. But we know that one of probably the first very important family was the Montefeltro in Urbino, that in the Renaissance time they developed arts, they called many of important artists in the region. So the idea of this kind of situation was arriving in our time from very ancient time. And now I show you with something only to show some typology of products that we have in the market. So kitchen, we have Merloni, Scavolini, Lube Cucina. That is very important, a big company that work in the international market. But also in glass furniture, in the Pesaro district, we have Albero from Tonelli Design, that is from Japanese design, Isao Soe, and also Fiam is from Chini Boeri and Takachinagi. And Curvet probably is from Jean Nouvel. So we can say that this kind of factory use also international designer, using the same way that we have in the past. You remember, many kind of different people arrive and put in our region their culture. And more is shoes, Tos, Paciotti, Santoni, and also in the furniture, Frau, Ciacci, Cantori, many of these, some of these factory now is closed, okay? So, but we are working about history of furniture in the region market. So for us, some example is very, very important. Or motorcycles, historic brand like Benelli or Moto Guzzi, or new brand like Morbidelli or TM Racing that develop a lot of innovation in this sector. Or Home Appliance, Ariston, that was the first company that started to do a washing machine in Italy. Or Elica, in this case, is a very important, it's very new products, but they put together a stove, hall, and a kitchen hob. So these are all Simonelli that made an integrated espresso coffee machine. So many kind of different typology. Or sport design, swimming, football, or gym, like Matrix or Reaxing, okay? So there are a lot of this kind of products. But this is only some example. In our region, we have also shipyards, jewelry, papers, and also a lot of kind of wonderful food, and also wine. So what we can say that in Marche region we can make eco-tourism, or we can make a long-stay tourist to take experience in some different line. So, you know, there is a beautiful mountain, a beautiful city, and a very typical gastronomic products. But for example, we have also Omero Tactile Museum in Ancona, in which it's possible to touch the models of the big architecture, also the design products. So people can go and can touch the products to understand better the situation. Or some or many company museum. This, for example, is the Fraun Museum. And also they can find in our region a lot of training courses. For example, the Marche region organized a list of craft master that people can contact to do a very exciting experience. The last is what we need to do is a website in which is possible for every people to organize 1 week trip in the market to study design, for example. Sorry, I will finish. So in this case, I can using keywords, organize my trip or try to do some workshop in my small town. This is all. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Carlo. So, a very strong artisan tradition, family business, a very rich environment. This to us seems to be very similar to some situation in Japan. So I'm very pleased to welcome Professor Daichi Iwase. He will talk will be about the evolution of Japanese craftsmanship from industrialization to sustainability and the role of art education. So please, the stage is yours.
Hi, everyone. I'm Daichi Iwase from Tokyo Zoki University of Art and Design. Today, I will share how the Japanese craftsmanship evolved through the industrialization to today's focus on sustainability, and how art education can support its sustainable future. So today, thinking about the traditional craft is more important than ever. In Japan, many traditional crafts are disappearing as artisans age and fewer young people carry on their skills. Losing them means losing not just techniques, but also local identities and the culture and the communities. So at the same time, in the world, the focus on speed and efficiency, the traditional crafts are becoming truly special. They carry the stories and warmth and the meaning of their makers, and making each piece unique. The traditional crafts are even more valuable when we consider today's environmental challenges. They use natural local materials and made to last long, offering lessons in sustainable design that value quality over the quantity. We are also seeing the shifts in the people's values. With the rise of green and ethical consumerism, people increasingly ask, who made this? How? And they seek products that support the real communities. So for these reasons, the traditional crafts are being rediscovered, and for their blend of skills, care, and the respect for the nature and the people and the tradition. Preserving them is essential for building the sustainable society. So by the way, when I use the term, the traditional craft included the industrial crafts, machine-made, but rooted in the traditional techniques and aesthetics, This helped to trace their evolution in Japan's modernizations. So about 150 years ago, when the Meiji period began, Japan needed to modernize to catch up to the West. However, Japan did not yet have modern industries. So the government promoted the export of traditional craft and other goods, for example, are silk or tea, which were well known for their quality. But the traditional craft had a problem because each item was made by hand. Production was slow and inefficient. So they could not meet the demand of mass export. To address this problem, the Japan developed industrial craft using a machine to produce the traditional style items more efficiently. Craft reach institutes were established across the country to promote it. While this helped to boost the economy and economic growth, many traditional crafts also disappeared as they could not adapt to the modernizations. At the same time, the Minge movement emerged, led by the Soetsu Yanagi. Minge meaning folk arts or people's craft was rediscovery and the appreciation of Japan's long-standing craft tradition, celebrating handmade everyday objects by anonymous artisans. So its belief in the beauty of use, that the beauty lies in humble and functional objects made with sincerity. He argued that the Minge's beauty was not just in the objects, but in the way of life and work rooted in honesty and selflessness. The Minge movement criticized industrialization when it ignored human values. It warned that mass production could strip away the joy of making and human touch. In order to preserve and promote this philosophy, so it's founded the Japan, the Folk Craft Museum in 1936 in Tokyo. The Minge movement deeply influenced Japanese modern design by promoting the simplicity, traditions, and the craftsmanship. After the World War II, Japan's economy grew rapidly through the expanding industry like electronics and cars. Supported by the industrial design from the US, the focus on the mass production and functionality drove this growth. In the late 1940s, Japan faced criticism of copying the Western products. To regain the trust, the government promoted originality, leading to the 1950s good design movements focused on useful and beautiful products. Early industrial designer like Sori Yanagi, Soetsu's son, was a key figure in this movement. He brought Minge values into the industrial design, blending the beauty, function, and craftsmanship. After the war, during Japan's rapid economic growth, people prioritized convenience and low cost. Traditional craft, even though the skills are beautiful, were seen as outdated and expensive, and many faded from the everyday life. But in recent years, we have begun to see a shift. People now focus more on the quality rather than quantity. They seek unique, sustainable products that reflect their values. Environmental concerns have grown, making the sustainability a priority. Traditional crafts, which use local and natural material, are gaining new attention. They show us how to create enduring objects without harming the environment. The consumers today want to connect with what they buy. They ask who made this, where, how, and what values inspired its creations. This interest in storytelling adds meaning to each product and brings us closer to its makers. In response, designers are collaborating with the traditional artisans to create a product that blends old technique with modern design. These new creations combine the tradition, sustainability, and innovation, preserving heritage while meeting the modern needs. Still, the traditional crafts face challenges. One is the aging population of artisans. With our younger successors, the valuable skills are at the risk of disappearing. Another challenge is a shortage of raw materials and tools. Producers of these essentials are also aging, making it harder to continue the traditional production methods. Modern lifestyles have also changed. Many people no longer use the traditional items in daily life. Mass-produced goods are cheaper and more convenient, so the traditional crafts are less present in everyday lives. Yet, there are signs of hope. More people now value the authenticity, quality, and the sustainability. There's growing interest in local culture and eco-friendly practices. So in this context, traditional crafts are seen as models of sustainable design. They teach us to make things that last, to use material wisely, and to connect the people and the nature through the craftsmanship. So what roles can the art university and regional education play in addressing these challenges? First, these institutions can serve as a cultural hubs, connecting the heritage with contemporary societies. They are more than technical training centers. Second, by learning local history and the culture, students gain the insights into the meaning behind the traditional craft. This helps preserve techniques and support artisans. Third, through the hands-on projects or internship, students work directly with the craft people. This real-world experience may inspire them to become artisans or designers using the traditional methods or in new ways. Fourth, our exhibitions and community workshop reconnect the locals with cultural roots. These events build the pride and raise awareness, encourage local consumptions, and revitalize communities. Fifth, our education fosters the appreciation for the craft and care. Traditional crafts may cost more in the beginning, but they last longer and can be repaired and gain the value over time. Unlike disposable goods, they support not only sustainable lifestyles, but also richer life with fewer possessions. Six, university can become global centers. By welcoming the international students or researchers, they help traditional craft evolve and stay relevant globally. Oops. There's missing the conclusion. Yeah, that one. This one. So in conclusion, the tradition is not just something to preserve. It's a guide for creating the sustainable future. Traditional craft teach us to design responsibly, with care, with meaning, and with respect for the environment and local culture and the people. When combined with modern design, they offer something mass production cannot. A meaningful and sustainable living. Education is key, connecting the past, present, and future to build a more sustainable world. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Your point is very interesting. In fact, the major problems we see in our region, but in Italy, generally speaking, is the generational change in artisan industry. And just a quick question, but what we see is that younger generation perceive handworks as a lower position in society, something, and that so the idea to design on a computer is okay, but the idea to stand in a lab and do homeworks for young Italians is a problem. Is it the same in Japan?
As I educated in the university, yes, almost the same as Italian young people.
So what you suggest we might do to change the perception of handwork?
I think hands-on experience help young people to enjoy making things. This is very important, as experience making things, enjoy the making things. Also, hands-on experience also help young people to see the connection between the crafts, the tradition, and sustainability. Also, I think making the traditional craft more profitable and visible is important, because even that some people or young people love traditional craft, but if they cannot make a living with it, it will be the problem, right? And also making the traditional craft more visible, for example, through the social media, so they can see more relevancy to their everyday life.
You mean? You mean the distribution or the sales of products?
Not the distribution, but they can, if, for example, if they can, through the social media, if they can see the relevancy between their everyday life and traditional cloud, they can be more, that's the, yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. This was very inspiring. Let me give the stage to Professor Tatsuo Matsuda. He will talk to us about design through the reinterpretation of region and tradition, chairs, automobiles, architecture, and fashion. Stage is yours.
Thank you. Hello, my name is Tatsuo Matsuda from Shizuoka University of Art and Culture. Today, I'd like to discuss design through reinterpretation of region and tradition, chairs, automobiles, and architecture. Many cutting-edge designs today actually stem from the reinterpretation of regional and traditional elements. I specialize in architecture and urbanism and teach at the university. Here is a project I designed in my hometown, Ishikawa Prefecture, a puzzle gallery. The space itself is puzzle-like, composed of 144 identical units, each made of 5 cubes. Though fixed, if movable, they could combine into a single cuboid, possibly making it the world's largest puzzle. Today, I'll proceed as follows: modernization, chairs, automobiles, architecture, and finally, the connection between Japan and Italy through the concept of the ideal city. Before discussing, Before discussing Japan, let me introduce an architect who symbolizes the modernizations. Le Corbusier, born in Switzerland and active in France, he is renowned for advancing architecture modernization and internationalization, and is a focus of my research. While he is seen as separating architecture from tradition, Le Corbusier was deeply influenced by regions and traditions, such as Acropolis in Athens, Fiat factory in Turin, Mediterranean climates, Algerian villages, and Brazilian favelas, ultimately creating architecture rooted in local context. The Longchamp Chapel in France, a masterpiece of modern architecture, is said to draw inspiration from Algerian mosque. Similarly, the Unité d'Habitation in Marseille traces its origins to Florence monasteries. Thus, Le Corbusier embodied both internationalism and regionalism, demonstrating that tradition and modernization can coexist. Next, I'd like to introduce designer Sori Yanagi and his iconic butterfly stool. Yanagi, a leading Japanese industrial designer, was initially inspired by Le Corbusier. His father, Sotetsu Yanagi, led the Ming movement, which sought beauty in folk craft, influencing Sori's work. The butterfly stool, introduced in 1956, uses three-dimensionally modeled plywood joined with brass fittings, simple yet complex in its curves, rational yet uniquely beautiful. It bridges folk craft and industrialization. It won the gold medal at the 1957 Milan Triennale. Yanagi also designed the elephant stool, the speed kettle, and the cutlery, among others. Having taught at the Kanazawa College of Art, the Sori Yanagi Design Memorial was established there. As someone from Kanazawa, a city of crafts, I feel strongly connection to Yanagi. Now let's talk about automobiles. The Hamamatsu area where I work is an automotive hub, home to Toyota, Honda, Suzuki, and Yamaha, like Modena in Italy. This region, blessed with the Tenryu River's water resources, was historically known for Enshu textiles. Toyota and Suzuki began as loom manufacturers, and their automation, metalworking, and supply chain networks were applied to automobile and motorcycle production from the 1930s to 1950s, leading to today's automotive industry. Yamaha, famous for motorcycles, started with musical instruments. In the late 19th century, Torakusu Yamaha repairs an American organ, leveraging Hamamatsu's skilled craftsmen who built complex looms. Yamaha produced organs, pianos, and metal propellers, applying precision metalwork and aesthetic sensibilities to post-war motorcycle manufacturing. Thus, Hamamatsu modernized while preserving its traditional industries. Now let's explore architecture. Kengo Kuma, one of my mentors, is known for incorporating regional materials and traditional techniques into modern designers. For example, Sunny Hills Minami Aoyama uses traditional Japanese woodworking technique, jigoku gumi hair joint, applies three-dimensionally. This technique used in shoji screens and Kyoto's Kiyomi's temple is difficult to disassembled and layered here with the pineapple motif for a Taiwanese pineapple cake shop. The stone, The Stone Museum in Nasu uses locally sourced lightweight ashino stone sliced thinly to allow light to pass through, transforming the typically heavy material into something light and soft. Traditional hedge techniques and masonry and fused with modern technology. Like Kumar, architects such as Yoshio Taniguchi and Terunobu Fujimori reinterpret existing elements to create new meaning. We've seen how chairs, automobiles, and architecture in Japan reinterpret region and tradition to create new value. Finally, I'd like to share a serendipitous connection between Italy and Hamamatsu, where I work, which related to the Italian pavilion's concept of the ideal city. The pavilion's design is a modern reinterpretation of the ideal city painting from Urbino Marche. The polymath Leonardo da Vinci witnessing death from the plague envisioned infection-resistant ideal cities, leaving numerous sketches during his Milan period with Bramante, a native of Urbino. These sketches were modeled in Milan in the 1950s, and the replica was donated to our university in Hamamatsu a few years ago. This led to exhibition and collaborative research, culminating in a self-published book. In 2022, we held an Ideal City exhibition in Hamamatsu. Amid the COVID-19 pandemic, the question of how cities respond to infectious diseases remained relevant, as it was 500 years ago. The Ideal City is both historical and reinterpretation, offering a lens to envision future cities. Over 20 years ago, I visited Paramanova, the only realized ideal city, and was struck by its nonagonal form, feeling both history and the future. I hope to visit to see Urbino's ideal city some days. In summary, the interpretation drives a new design. I'm delighted by this unexpected connection with the Italian pavilion and market. Sorry, this is the last one. And this is a movie that I produced. And this is one of the contents of the exhibition. So we made a 3D CG model of the Leonardo da Vinci's ideal cities. Okay, thank you for your attention.
Thank you. This is very, very interesting approach to Leonardo da Vinci and the architecture of the Renaissance. I think you should definitely come to Urbino and visit and see with your eyes. Let me give the stage to our last but not least speaker, Professor Onoji Hiroto. His speech will be about maestros and craftsmen, the future of Italian and Japanese aesthetics.
はい、大野木でございます。今回私のテーマは私の専門でも何でもないんですが、コーディネートをやってくれた、私の、大事な、スタッフが、しっかりと私のために作ってくれたテーマに合わせて今日はお話ししたいと思います。私がイタリアというところと日本と骨の結びつきといった関係があった仕事っていうのは、思い出すと2つありました。その一つがですね、実はアレッシーなんですね。思い出すとこれは2006年 オルタ湖畔のですね北の、イタリアの北の方、そこで、その会社を訪ね、そしてそこで彼らの思い、理念、そういうものをしっかりとですね聞きながら、我々の大学と何か形としてですね商品開発ができないかというようなことを共に考えようというので、この関係は始まりました。当時アルベルトさんという社長がおられたと思うんですが、彼がですね工場を案内しながら、このアレッシーという会社のですね成り立ちから、そして今求めているもの、そしてこれから何をやろうとしているかということを随分語ってくれました。そこで非常に感動したのは、ここにあるこの本社はですね、夢の工場を作るんだと、夢を追いかけるものづくりをやりたいんだということでした。でこれに非常に感銘をしまして、我々の大学とですね、連携をしながら新しい商品開発、それと同時に大学のですねデザイン教育の多くの助けをですねこの会社から借りたい、持っているものを学びたいというところで、共にですねスタートしました。おかげでですね我々は彼らの持ってたデザインのポリシーなり、そして技術なりして我々はそこを学生たちがしっかりと受け止めたというふうに思ってますし、結果ですね少しですが彼ら学生のデザインが商品化もされました。もう一つの関わりはですね、グッチという、ここからの依頼でした。これは我々のその時の学長だった千住博、彼がですねグッチと仲が良くてですね、グッチからの依頼で京都でですねグッチの展覧会をやりたい、それをどのように、誰に頼めばできるか、どのようにすればいいかという相談でした。で、千住学長からですね私に依頼がありまして、京都でグッチの展覧会の一番できるベストな場所はどこだという課題でした。で京都にはですね古いいろいろな、史跡もありますし建物もありますし、しかし核という我々最も大事にしている価値観をですねしっかり持ってグッチのイメージにつながる、アップにつながる場所はどこかということで、最終的に金閣寺というお寺を選んだのです。でこのお寺はですね、今までこういう形では全く使ったことがない、この経験のない全く今までやったことのないことに、我々もチャレンジし、お寺もこういう形で使うことにですね非常に大きな挑戦をしたというふうに思います。おかげで成功しまして、グッチとですね我が大学は非常にいい関係になりまして、でこの後ですね我々の大学でも、展示グッチ展をやろうというお話が生まれました。で私はその時にですねグッチ展をやったって、大学でですねグッチ展をやったってそれほど効果のあるもんじゃない、むしろやるんだったらフェレンツェという町のものづくりと京都のものづくりの比較ができる展覧会をやるべきじゃないかという提案をしたのです。 その考え方にグッチは非常に感銘を受けたのか賛成してくれまして、お金も全部ですねグッチが出してもらって、本学で京都の素晴らしい工芸の、手作りの作品たち、そして、フレンツェの、非常に伝統的な素晴らしい手作りの作品、これを並列に並べながら、ヨーロッパ文化というかイタリア文化と日本の文化の比較をこの展覧会で行ったんです。でこれはまた非常に評判を呼びまして、あとグッチのですね銀座のビルのスペースを使ってもう一度この展覧会もやりたいということで、行った、これが2011年でした。でこの2つで私は大きなことを学んだような気がします。イタリアのものづくりはやはり非常に合理的に物事を考え、より美しいもの、よりいいもの、どのようにして便利なものにすればいいか、しっかりとですね市場というものを見据えた商品開発をやってるんじゃないか、そのように感じました。ところがですね、京都の伝統的なものづくりは全くそういうところにですねあまり視点を持ってなかったような気がします。日本のものづくりは不思議なように、ものづくりの人間がですねものを作ればいいんじゃなくて、ものを作りながら自己を見つめ自己を高めるということに非常に重きを置いたものづくりをやってます。つまり彼らは自分を作ることを、自分を鍛えることによって結果いいものは必ずできるだろうという信念です。そういうものが日本のあらゆるものづくりの中にしっかりとどこかにそれは眠っているというか浸っている、そういうものが日本のものづくりじゃないかなという、そのことをこの2つのですね経験から私は学びました。からもう一つですね大きなことがありました。これは京都にその頃、10年ちょっと前ですが、職人の数、これが1万9,000人いました。そして売上がですね1,700万、これが売上でした。ところがですねグッチさんと話をしたときに、グッチさんはですね2万人の職人を抱えている。その売上や京都の全職人の売上に比べてですねその5倍から10倍あったんです。これはびっくりするほど我々にとってみては過酷な話だというふうに思いました。日本のものづくりはとても素晴らしい。決して世界の中で誇るべきものをちゃんと作っているにかかわらず、全くビジネスとして成り立ってなかったんです。でこれはですねやはりこのヨーロッパのしかも、スーパーブランドというかビッグブランドはですねしっかりとブランドの力で世界を向けた市場に対してのものづくりをやっているに比べて、京都の職人さんたちはまだ日本という小さな世界での市場にですね我々は甘んじてたから、結果こういう結果になったというふうに私は思ってます。それでこれから私の今回のテーマなんですが、これからのものづくりをどのように考えようか、 現在は非常に過酷な状況があります。いい材料がなくなってる。いい道具もない。良い技術者も育たなくなった。そして良い使い手、つまりユーザーのレベルが落ちた。でしかも非常に物が高くなりましたから市場がちっちゃくなってきた。そういうですね、いろんな面で過酷な状況に手仕事は置かれているというふうには思います。その解決策、先ほどですね、岩瀬先生もそのことに対して述べられておられましたけれども、やはり次の時代に必要だということは分かっているわけです。今や、大量消費型の文明の、しかも人工空間で限られた中にですね、息苦しく生きている現代人にとって、やはり手作りのあったかいものは必ず必要なんです。その解決策、解決法をやはり芸術的な発想の中でしっかりとですね考えていって活路を見出さない限り人類の生活は非常に味気ないものになるだろう。そのためには何が大切かということをしっかりと教える教育が必要だというふうに思います。その教育の根幹は芸術という教育法だというふうに我々は思っているのです。我々は大きな理念、芸術立国というそういう理念を持っています。これはアーティストやデザイナーを育てるという意味ではありません。すべての人間が幸せになるための社会を作る、それは芸術のみが作れる方法だということだというふうに我々は思っていて、そういう大学を我々は目指しているということです。今回こういう機会にですね、ちょっとイタリアのものづくりを思い出して、そしてここでですね少し自分なりの考えを述べさせていただきました。そのチャンスを与えられて非常にありがたかったと思います。本当にありがとうございました。
Thank you. Thank you very much. I think it was a very inspiring talk. And I don't know if there are any questions from the audience. If not, I'm very interested to understand with our speaker one simple question. Going back to the starting point. So we are working to build a museum of design of our region. I was wondering how in your experience, the material culture, how important it is, how important it is to give young generations or to anyone the opportunity to understand which were the tradition of manufacturing in that area, and even more, is this tradition still alive or not? It works.
I think art university often collaborate, Japanese art university, I mean, often collaborate with local artisans and through the workshop or research projects. And the student can visit their workshop and learn the local skills and the traditions and create a new design that blends the tradition and innovations. And these activities help the preserve the traditional skills and also inspire the modern applications. So what we can do is the creating the opportunities for the students to work together with the local artisans through the workshop or research project, whatever. So this is the things we can, as art university, can do.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
実は私が先ほど言ったように、若い人たちがこの従来から大切にしているものづくりの在り方を継承して、そして自分たちの生活の中で大きくですね、その役割を担えるぐらいのそういう社会シーンは非常に僕は難しいだろうと、ほぼ絶望的ぐらい私は思ってます。これは一つの古いものが懐かしくていいという問題ではなくて、今の現代にはやはり非常にミスマッチなほど大きくですね、社会は変化をしているんだろうというふうに思っています。ただですね、そこに実は現代社会は大きな限界というものを自分たちの身をもって感じ始めているのは事実です。ですから必ずその反動でですね、解決策を見出さざるを得ないんです。今の社会が肯定できるんじゃなくて、むしろ否定というそういう環境がですね、どんどん大きくなるにつれて、より我々が求めている今芸術と言われているもの、手作りのものと言われるもの、こういうものがですね、必要にというふうなそういう価値観の変化をですね、これをつけなくては、またそういう環境をですね、我々はしっかりと提供していかなくてはならないという、その状況に今差し迫っているだろうと。だからそれはどうしたらそのこちらが正しいんじゃないかという道を若者たちに示せるか、これが実は芸術大学の大きな役割だと我々は思っています。芸術大学でしかこの大事な心の問題を解決する手法は見つからない。それぐらい重要なことがこの芸術というこれからの道に使命として持っているんではないかと私は思っています。
Can I speak? what I like to speak is a little bit complex than my English ability. So please allow me to speak in Japanese, sorry, in this time. 今日のお話で、今の質問を受けてですね、私は芸術系の大学では、学生が芸術について学ぶことはあっても、それをどう社会に接続していくかということをもう少し教員側が考える必要があるんじゃないかと思っています。というのは、例えば私は建築を教えていますが、建築の作り方、考え方は教えられても、大学の中だとじゃあどのようにして事務所を建てて、でどこからどうやってそれを一人で経営していくかっていう、そのマネジメントに関しては何も教えられることがないわけで、それは一人でやれっていうこと、その精神そのものを教わってきたような気がするんですが、決してそれだけでやっぱりうまくいかないところはあるんですね。で今私がいる静岡文化芸術大学でも学生にさまざまな芸術分野、デザイン分野のことを教えていますが、学生に教えるのはやはりどうやってものを作るかということであって、どうやってそのものを作って、で先ほど小野木先生からまさにその、グッチの話をされて、で職人が、日本の職人がそれをビジネスにつなげることができないという話がありましたが、それはやっぱり私も大学と社会の境界にいるとすごくよく感じることで、学生はじゃあ一人でやっていこうと思っても、そこのサポートは誰がしてくれるわけでもないっていうのは、その日本の大学の現状ではあります。で、そういうことを考えると、やっぱり実践していくときに何をどういうふうにやっていけばよいのかということも、含めて考えることはすごく大事じゃないかなということを思いました。で、今日ですね、その岩瀬先生と私から、柳総理、それからその父の柳宗悦、あるいはその柳宗悦とも言うんですが、その2人の話が出て、でこれは本当に偶然です。で、私も驚いたんですが、一方でやっぱり柳宗悦と柳総理に関しては、これは日本のデザイン、特にその産業化について考えるときには、やっぱりもう柳について触れざるを得ないという非常に重要な人物でありますので、偶然ではありますけれども、2人とも触れたのはその必然かなという気がしました。でその柳は、ヨーロッパでどれぐらい知られているのかはそんなに分からないんですけれども、私が一つ挙げたいのは民芸運動とアーツ&クラフツ運動という、その2つの運動の、類似性と差異みたいなところなんですね。でご存知のようにそのアーツ&クラフツ運動は、イギリスで始まった、運動で、その日常、工業化されたものがどんどん多くなってきたときに、そこに手作業とか芸術性を持ち込むことが重要だという、まさにその小野木先生のお話とも重なるところがあるんですが、それが19世紀末からイギリスで行われていて、で柳宗悦の民芸運動もやはり同じようなところでなされてきたことがあります。ただ一方でですね、その柳の民芸運動はどちらかというと名もなき人の、デザインの中に、美を乱すというところ、これはアーツ&クラフト運動とはちょっと違っていて、アーツ&クラフト運動の場合はどちらかというとちゃんとその、モリス商会とかも作られてビジネスに結びつけているわけですね。それが日本の民芸運動では基本的にはそういうところはなかったと。ただ、柳総理、その息子の総理になると、これはもう、ある意味ビジネスとしても大成功して、で、日本の中の重要な、デザインの、を、日本中に送り出していくことができたと。そういう意味でその柳は、民芸運動に足りないところ、実は柳は最初民芸運動に父に反発したんですけれども、後からその民芸運動にやっぱり影響されて、その良さを見出しつつも、父とは違うやり方で、新しいデザインを日本に広めていったと。そういうふうに考えると、今の日本の中でやっぱり芸術性を教えていく中で、その大事なことの一つはそれをどう社会につなぐ、あるいは実践する、あるいはビジネスにつなぐ、そういうところを実践しないと なんとなくやっぱり日本はその精神論になりがちというところがあるので、その意味だとヨーロッパとはちょっと違う、日本の問題はそこで、でも日本はこういう問題を抱えているので、逆にそこからヨーロッパについて見えることも出てくるのかなという気がいたしました。すいません、ちょっと長くなりましたが、とりあえずコメントです。
Thank you. This is very good. Okay, thank you very much to all of you, gentlemen. I think that as a conclusion of this talk, I personally think that the beautiful manufacture of Japanese knives or the beautiful textile of kimono. I mean, if this tradition disappears, Japan loses something. I think the same in Italy. If the tradition of glass blowing in Venice or the tradition of leather works in Tuscany disappears, Italy loses a lot. When Onoji, you said you had an experience with Gucci. As you probably know, Gucci is a worldwide fashion brand, but at the beginning it was a network of small artisan working leather goods at a very high level, and this became an industry. But without those artisans, there was no Gucci at all. What we are doing now is to give a house to this local history. A museum is a place where you can bring all this beautiful story, but it cannot just be a container or a lock room to keep stuff, to keep old stuff. What we want to do is to think at a museum that is not only a repository, but is mainly a tool to promote, to encourage the revitalization of local manufacturers so that they can again and again become global industries. So under this conclusion, I think that I would like to thank you very much again for coming, and I hope to see you soon in Marche, if you will have the opportunity to come, and I hope to discuss with you, each of you, programs of cooperation, so we can meet again basing on new projects. Thank you very much indeed.